it's Christine. I wanted to come on and share a word that the Lord gave me this morning in my devotional time with Him. And it kind of goes in line with the word that He gave me yesterday. And I have to actually upload that one. I've been falling behind a little bit with the words, but the word the Lord gave me was, you only have to be willing to be willing. You only have to be willing to be willing. And this is a word that came to me in a book that I was reading, and also as I I've just been praying and seeking the Lord for certain things. And it's interesting because I knew when I read that in the book, it was an allegory. It was a book that I'm reading, and it says you only have to be willing to be willing. This was a word that was given to me many, many years ago by a spiritual mom and a mentor, and there were some things that I was going through at the time, and I was really wrestling with just a lot of things that were going on in my life at the time, things that were very frustrating to me, a lot of things that I didn't necessarily understand. And she said to me one time,
at the next stop sign, turn left.
I said to her, I don't know if I can do this. And just everything. I was really just having like a crisis moment of faith, and just like I said, just different circumstances that I was going through in my life. And she had said to me, she said, Christine, she said, but are you willing to be willing? Because I said, I don't know if I can do this. This is really hard, and this is very painful. And she said to me, you just have to be willing to be willing. Are you willing to be willing? And when she said that to me, it was like this sigh of relief came over me. And it was like just this hope that flooded my soul.
Turn right on Beaker Road, then turn
and
left onto US 130 North.
Just, gave me hope that I don't have to do everything all at one shot. I don't have to have all of the answers all in one day for the things that I'm either wrestling with, or I'm praying for, or I'm struggling. Like, I can be willing to let God do what needs to be done, and really trust in Him, because I was thinking that I had to do it in myself. I was thinking, well, I need to pick myself up by my bootstraps, and I need to just, white knuckle this and, bite the bullet and do this on my own. And when she said it, you just have to be willing, I said, well, I can do that. I can be willing to be willing. I might not be willing, but I can be willing to be willing. And it just opened up, like I said, it was like this whole new world of hope, and just this feeling of absolutely relief came over me. Because I think sometimes when we go through situations, then we're wrestling with certain things with God, and just in our prayer time and in our life, we think that we have to come up with the answers, and we have to come up with the solutions, and we have to make things happen in our own strength. And we have to be willing to even muster up the will to make things happen. And God really spoke to me through that word this morning, and I knew that it was Him, because that's when I read it, I said, this is something that my spiritual mom used to say to me many years ago before she passed. And she was a lot older than I was. She was a great woman of wisdom, and and very very Holy Spirit filled. And when I read that in the book today, it was like the Lord was confirming to me that that's all I need to do. I don't need to make things happen in my own strength. I don't need to muster up the courage and the willpower to make something happen. That I can just trust God that, you know, if I'm willing to be willing, then He can work with me. He can work with the smallest, even the smallest amount of like the mustard seed of faith. He can work with that. I don't need to muster up all of the strength and the courage and the faith on my own to make something happen that is out of my control, or I feel completely like powerless over, or I feel like it's too big for me. I can just be willing and let God do what I can't do for myself. And it's like that scripture that says, you know, in His weakness I am strong. I mean, in my weakness He is strong. And you know, I don't have to make things happen. I don't have to will something into being. And it was just very encouraging. So I wanted to come on here and I just wanted to share that. And I will release that word that He gave me also yesterday. But I just also wanted to just say that if that's something that you're going through, you know, just know that you're not alone, and know that you don't have to make things happen in your own strength, and you know, let God work things out in His timing and in His ways and in His will. And you know, all we have to do is be willing to let Him do things, and not feel like we have to make things happen in our own strength and will something to happen. And so that was really what I wanted to come on and share. I hope that this blessed you. Leave a comment in the comment section if this is something that you identify with and you can relate to. And please don't forget to follow us, like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our other social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and you can also follow us on our website, tamarshopeusa.org. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.